Hi, guys. So, welcome to yet another installment of my interviews that I like to do, whether it's with guests, whether it's my own clients, thought leaders in the field of functional medicine. And today, I am so excited to have my very own client with me today. Her name is Graciela, and she reached out to me a few months ago because she was having symptoms and she wanted to work with me, and she had seen some of my work. And if you listen to anything, listen to this interview today, because you will hear the story of hope and how your body has the ability to absolutely heal itself in a very short time frame if you give it the right tools and the right methods to do. So welcome, Graciela. Thank you so much
Hi.
for agreeing to do this. It is so nice to have you. So let's just jump right into it. Can you tell our listeners, when you found me, and at that point, what was the status of your health? What was going on? And what kind of made you seek me out and say, hey, I want to do an initial session with you and see if we're a good fit to work together?
Hi, everybody. So, when I started your program and when I started looking for help, I was so scared. I was having so many symptoms. I just finished college. I started working after years of stress and working full time, plus going to school. I started having panic attacks. I was fatigued. I was losing hair. I was gaining weight. And I knew for sure something was off, and that's why I started looking for help.
Right. And so when you had come to me, I definitely remember like you were having the panic attacks. You
Mhm.
had said you were fatigued all the time. You would work, 10-hour days and come home and just get in bed because you're so tired. And you just wanted your life back because you were a very active person. You used to exercise before that. You were just a very happy, bubbly, outgoing kind of person. So that's really what I remember in our initial session. Now, remind me again, were you working or had already worked with a practitioner at that point?
Not yet. I was seeing a naturopath, but I was not making changes in my nutrition yet. I
Okay.
didn't know that you could use food as a medicine,
Mhm.
and that was a game changer.
That was a game changer. So when you and I did the initial session, I remember you were a little surprised because you were already on a few supplements. And I said to you that I really don't put my clients on any supplements at all if I can avoid it. In fact, I try to take off a lot of the supplements they're on. And we do basic things, whether it's adrenal cocktails, but the bulk of my work is more about decreasing inflammation, using food as medicine, and really, the body is this amazing tool that can heal itself. And I remember you going, wow, really? Like this is how simple this is going to be.
Yes, yes. I was on adrenal cocktails, pills. I was on magnesium, different types of magnesium, so many vitamins, inositol, so many different supplements, and I was still having symptoms, especially the panic attacks, the depression spells, the anxiety nonstop. I remember I had an anxiety attack for 5 days in a row. It's so debilitating.
Yes, yes. And I remember you were just as a plea for help. And I said, if you trust me and if you work with me, we will use your body to heal itself. And I'm not gonna give, spoiler or ruin the end over here. But so you and I started working together, and my program is 8 sessions. And immediately after the first session, so 2 weeks later, you sent an email and told me that you were already starting to feel so much better.
Yes.
So tell us a little bit about that.
So when you put me in that nutrition plan, that's when I started seeing changes. I was sleeping better. I was way less inflamed. And most important, I stopped the depression spells, the anxiety stopped, like overnight stop. And that's when I found out, okay, so it doesn't matter how many supplements you've been taking for months. You need to start from the root. You need to start eating better, but you need to understand your body, listen to your body, and I mean, you need to add vegetables and salads and protein, slow release carbs were a game changer as well.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of it, it's the way you and I worked. I listened to your lifestyle. I didn't want to come in and make an overall of your entire lifestyle and then make it really hard for you. So really, I listened to what your lifestyle is, what your job schedule is like, what your current diet is. And then I just started working with that. So we just added a few things. Like, for instance, I remember you were eating eggs for breakfast, but you were not eating enough. So you weren't giving yourself the 30 grams of protein plus a healthy fat and a fiber. So if I told you the very first time that if that's the only change we make first, that's the only change we made. We added a little bit more protein, we threw in some healthy fats, and then we threw in either some slow release carbs or some vegetables. The other thing we did is the timing of how you ate. And so we kind of changed those. And in my training and in my opinion, when you have these panic attacks and anxiety attacks, a lot of it sometimes is related to cortisol, and it's blood sugar dropping, cortisol spiking, all of those things. So I said to you, and I said, we're going to bring that in control first. If we can balance out your blood sugar level, then we really can control a lot of these spikes up and down. And you saw a difference, like you said, within 2 weeks for the panic attacks and the anxiety. And you were like, whoa, this is a game changer. I remember your first email, you were so excited because we were going to have a follow-up. And I usually check in with my patients within a week of seeing them. And so that was really amazing. So I read that and I was so excited for your second visit. So then we continued this, and every session we had, I started adding a few things. Whether we added like more in your lunch or your dinner, we kind of started adding a few things. Again, still no supplements. You were already on the magnesium, which I usually do put all my patients on some sort of magnesium. I'll put them definitely, they'll check with their doctor, they check their vitamin D levels. We'll do some basic of those things. And then just some basic multiminerals that we have, we're all depleted. But you were already doing some of them. So really, I don't even recall us adding too many of any of those things because you were on the magnesium, and then the other stuff you were getting it through your food.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And in fact, we stopped a lot of those additional supplements that you were on that may or may not have been helping and maybe causing the hair fall, the weight gain, things like that. So then we continued seeing each other, and by session 4, you were a different person. So 4 weeks, 4 sessions in, you were completely different. You started feeling so much better. You started enjoying time with your husband, your dog, you were walking. Work was getting so much easier for you. And all because, and I have to preface this for everyone listening to this, Graciela is a phenomenal patient. Like, she is someone who listens to everything. Any suggestions I gave her, she just like right on, jumped on it.
Mm-hmm.
And so she's really easy to work with. So she made my job very easy. And so by session 4, you really started getting so much better, got your life back. You were not having any anxiety, panic attacks at all.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, like, game changer from when I saw you 4 sessions ago. And so you started doing much better. And that was about 8 weeks in, because we were meeting every 2 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
And I would write you a plan, you followed that plan to a T, and then we just kind of kept working. So by session 4, you were great. Now we'll fast forward a little bit, which is where typically I've gone through this. A lot of my clients go through this. After session 6, by the time, like, you were already walking from session 4, like walking with the dog, hanging out with your husband, you started going out to dinners. You said you even went out. I remember like one of the weekends after we met, and you had gone out that weekend with your friends, and you had a little cake, and you were just doing great. So
Yep.
around session 6, we started adding in just once a week a little bit of exercise. And you started exercising once a week and feeling pretty good. So
Yep.
then tell everyone what happened after that, once we added that.
So I think it's natural they after feeling so tired and having all these panic attacks, and then you have this rush of energy and you start feeling like a human being again. I felt very, very excited. I started working out every day, and I was like, okay, I could even work out twice a day, but I'm just gonna start working out. I was doing bar, I was doing Pilates, I was doing spinning classes every day. And then unfortunately, I crashed because my body's still in recovery.
Yes.
So I crashed and then I came looking for help. I was like, please, please, can you please check my plan? I'm starting feeling the anxiety coming back again, and I'm feeling the fatigue. Like I'm doing something wrong. And that's when you told me, okay, you need to slow down.
Right.
You're doing so good, but you cannot overdo yourself just yet. Your body's still recovering, your adrenals still recovering, and you're gonna get there. Just be patient.
Yeah, and it's so common because I know that feeling. I went through it myself. When you've been sick for so long and you all of a sudden start feeling better, you feel like yourself, and you really want to just get back to who you are, it's very easy to say, I'm going to jump right in. At that point, like you were supposed to be doing 3 days a week, but you felt really good. And I remember when we met for your seventh like session or so, you're like, can I do twice a day? And I was like, no, like you cannot do twice a day. And so that is very, very common because not just you, myself, all my clients, they feel better and then the endorphins and the dopamine and they're feeling so good. And then they start a little overdoing it. So you did have a little bit of that backtrack after your visit 6, 7, where you kind of started backtracking. And so then you and I met and I said, okay, we're going to take a step back. I know it feels really good. You haven't felt this good in a long time, so you're ready to jump back into exercising. But like you said, your body is still in recovery. You have to listen to your body. You have to listen to that. And so then we slowed it down. And so you kind of took a step back again. And instead of doing it every day, now you've been back to a lot more walks again and hanging out at home and puzzles and things like that, which is very, very common and which is really what you should be doing and honoring your body along the way. But also when you feel so good and you haven't exercised in a while, I know that feeling because I'm like this exercise junkie as well. And so that's really good. So you listened again and you took a step back and then you said, okay, this is working out well and I'm going to do this. So all in all, I think you've done phenomenal. And I think that everything has been great with the whole program that you've done. You really are an excellent listener. But to see you today, we only had 8 sessions together. And to see you today within the first like 4 sessions, you got your life back. When people look at adrenal fatigue, when you read on you and I are all on the forums that we're on, it is sad to read because people are like, give up hope. Do I have hope? Will I ever get my life back? Any of that stuff. And then you see you in 4 weeks, like you follow the program and you have your life back.
Yes, and it happens. We gotta be patient. Um, it's gonna happen. It's gonna take. Sometimes it takes more than a month, but just stick to the plan. Stick to the advice. Stick to the good nutrition. Stick to rest. Your body needs rest. I know that social media says that you need to work out every day and that you need to lift weights or run or do cardio or take all this crazy amount of protein powders, and it's not. Go back to the root, check your nutrition, and start from zero. That's the secret. And just be patient with yourself. Do meditations during your days off. Be patient. Just rest. Watch a show. Spend time with your kids. Just relax. Like don't run errands. Just relax for at least half the day, and you'll be fine.
Yeah, and that is such good advice. Like coming from you, you hit the nail on the head because that exactly is what I tell my patients. And you're like living proof of this, which is phenomenal.
Mhm.
And the one thing when you and I started working together, you were very surprised when I said this, but I said, when you work with me, you're not going to eat less. You're actually going to eat more.
No.
So,
You
and
eat
you're
more.
like,
Yeah.
yeah, you're like, well, but I want to lose weight. I said, don't worry, you're going to lose weight. You're going to
Yep.
feel great. You're going to eat more. When people come to me, they're shocked. I make them eat so much more, but of the right stuff. So it's not like a fad diet or it's not all these restrictive calories and restrictive, fasting and all of that stuff. It's really just honoring your body, eating at the right times, the right things, and then adding in a few supplements here and there if you need them, but really using, your body to heal itself. So thank you so much for doing this. You are a walking testament to how you can get your health back in a very short period of time
Mhm.
if you do the right things. And so I am so grateful. Like I said, you probably like one of the best patients to work with. I am really grateful that our paths crossed. I will just ask real quick your opinion on air. I haven't even had you do the survey yet, but did you feel like the program was easy to understand? Was I accessible, responding right away to every message you had? Like, how did you feel with the whole program?
It's so easy. It's so easy to talk to you. It's just, I mean, we could even message on WhatsApp. We can use our emails, and you're just, I don't know. It takes like 10 minutes for you to reply. So
Yes.
I was always feeling your support. Any doubt that I had, I was just an email away from you. And it's so easy. I think the secret is just be patient. I know it's so hard. I know
So
probably you guys been sick for months and you think there is no answer. Nobody's listening to you. You guys been visiting doctors. Just go back to the root and be patient. And guys, in 2 or 3 months, you're gonna be working out, or you're just gonna feel like a human being again.
yes, thank you. Thank you so much for this testimonial. And I wish you well. You are doing phenomenal. I can't wait to hear from you in a couple of months. You have a lot of updates to give me and how things are going, because I know you've got a lot of future plans for your life and all of that. So I can't wait to hear from you. But thank you again, and we'll be in touch.
Of course, thank you
Thanks.
so much. Bye.
Bye.